Kamala Kosikazi. Ikamala Makosikazi. Ikamala Makosikazi. Ikamala Makosikazi. Long live the Commander-in-Chief, long live. Long live the Commander-in-Chief, long live. Viva EFF, viva. Viva EFF, viva. Amanda.
To our Secretary General, long live EFF, long live. 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 Ene ke tla nka sebaka sena na ke le itsisi to our Deputy President, yena ke Komisa Floyd Nyiko Shivambu.
Amandla elilizwi lamakosikazi asoze aphela amandla elilizwi lamakosikazi asoze aphela amandla asoze aphela amandla asoze aphela amandla amandla mayibuye. Viva EFF, viva. Kula EFF, Eastern Cape, kula. Kula EFF, Alfred Nzo, kula. Kula EFF, Matatiela, kula. Kula EFF, Ntabankulu, kula. Kula EFF, Unimatikisela Mandela, kula. Kula EFF, in Alfred Nzo, kula. Kula EFF Numzumvumbu Kula. Amanda. Viva the Commander-in-Chief, viva. Long live the Commander-in-Chief, long live. 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 Amanda. Away, two. Thank you very much, Deputy Secretary General Popimai Lula, for introducing the leadership of the EFF and everyone else who is here. We take this opportunity to acknowledge the leadership from the Central Command Team, the PCT, the RCTs and branch command teams, but most importantly, the women of South Africa that have gathered today here to commemorate and mark Women's Day. My task is quite simple and straightforward. My responsibility is to introduce a leader of the revolution. My role is to introduce the Commander-in-Chief and President of the EFF. My task is to raise a leader whom we can count in the same line as Thomas Sankara, as Patrice Lumumba, as Kwame Nkrumah, a great Pan-Africanist. Comrade President.
Amandla, Amandla, viva EFF, viva, viva EFF, viva, Panzi ngamasela, Panzi, Panzi ngamasela, Panzi, Panzi ngolisela Oscar Mabuyane, Panzi, Amandla. Siyabonga, thank you very much. Deputy President, SG, DSG, TG, members of the Central Command Team, members of the PCT, led by the Chair and the Secretary, Sibonge, our RCT, and all our ground forces, including our councillors. Today we are here in Matatiele in the Eastern Cape to salute our mothers, because if it was not you, mothers, grandmothers, sisters and daughters of this beautiful land, democracy was going to be still a dream. But because you volunteered your bodies and said you can shoot us and kill us, we want our freedom, and our freedom cannot be postponed. It is going to happen today. So we are here because you refused to carry Dompas. You said this is the land of our forefathers and mothers, and therefore we don't need to prove to anyone through carrying Dompas that we are South Africans. You did so knowing very well that the answer to that was death. But even when you knew you were going to die, in your mind you had two things. Either we are going to die or our children are going to be free. We don't want our children to be like us. We want them to walk freely because we will fight for that freedom. So we are here as grandchildren of Winnie Madikizela Mandela, who comes from Mbizana, from a rural area, to go and liberate the whole of South Africa. Charlotte Mateke, Lillian Ngoyi, and many other women who said, we cannot allow this to continue. Enough is enough. So anyone who thinks that this freedom came because someone was doing us a favor will have to think twice. Because a lot of women all over African continent fought against colonialism. We think here of Queen Nzinga, who fought against Portuguese colonialism, who said we cannot allow to be colonized by people who came from nowhere and want to conquer our world. For decades, Queen Nzinga fought against the colonizers because they knew that the defeat of colonialism will be a defeat of an oppression of women. Today, as we celebrate this day, we should remember the widows of Marikana who were brutally killed by police, who were told by Ramaphosa that these workers are criminals. He killed a lot of men who come from here in the Eastern Cape. Today, a lot of families do not have fathers. Why were they killed? Neba kopa fela chelete ya hore ba kgone support malapa a bona. Ramaphosa re ha ba kopa chelete ke ditsotsi ha ba bolaiwe. Batho ba ko Kolombeni ba re le bona ba ema ka maoto bomme ba Kolombeni mo Eastern Cape, but we are not going to allow nonsense to happen on our land without us. Baba betha ka di rubber bullet, they never retreated because generally women of Eastern Cape are not cowards. That's why today that issue of Kolombeni is still an issue, because women defended the land of their ancestors. Comrade, all of us know that there are a lot of single mothers here in Matatiele. Bontate ba file bomme, bana ba fetja ba ba shia, and basadi bo bao azanka ba yo dampa bana ba le ba re bontata lona ba le tšhabetše, therefore I'm going to dump you. Single-handedly ba udisitše bana mo Matatiele mo. Today bana bao ke banna le basadi. Every time when single mothers complain about resources to raise their children, Baba bitsa ka maina ba re they are bitter women, yet they are not there to support their children. There is no woman who can ever be a trouble in your life, even if you give her a child, for as long as o support ngwana hao. Ha o fa motho wa mme wa mo fa ngwana wa fetša wa tšhaba, ha re o batla tšhelete ya ngwana wa re no baby mama o bitha o ntšhetše morao o bona ke motloetše, ha a bue ka ntho ya gore o mo siile, o bua gore support-a ngwana wa hao, because as single mothers we cannot afford. Re leboe batho ba tsolo mo Eastern Cape ba re producereditše Deputy Chief Justice ya mosadi Mandisa Maya, mamotla a rural woman ke Deputy Chief Justice, ine swantše ebile Chief Justice ke ena na winne go ba Chief Justice. Ba tsamaya ba yonka monna ba mmea mo setulong se ne swantše o kene Mandisa Maya wa o tšwa ko Tsolo, ba nagana gore ngwana wa ko Tsolo ha deserve go ba Chief Justice, ka gore batho ba ba tshepa fela banna, batho ba funi ndoda e tšebileng e be Chief Justice. O tšebile o nje mara o useless, the Chief Justice with no brain, the whole brain that is full of fat on top of that brain. That's why he can't think properly. So, Mandisa Maya, we need more of Chief Justices who are African and females from rural areas. Mara Mandisa Maya, haba mo appointile mola. It's not about her. It's about a girl child in Matatiele. Hor ha Musheba, are meo mo successful owner, even Deputy Chief Justice ya South Africa, atswa ko Tsolo, hora hore nna tswa ko Matatiele, it's possible. Le nna tomorrow, I can be Chief Justice, I can be a judge, I can be a leader in society. Comrades, basadi ba rona ba mo Africa borwa ba phela in a difficult situation. Ha ba tsebe hore na ba tšhabele kae, ka gore la ba ya ko kerekeng go a rapiwa ko kerekeng, ha ba re ba ya ko traditional counseling mošate wa rapiwa lona mo, ha o re o tšhabela ko ntlong ka lapeng o safe, o rapiwa hona ka mo ntlong ka mo, o rapa ke batho bao o ba tsebang. Bongata ba bomme ba rona ba rapa ke batho ba ileng hore ba tsebala, bana ba banyana ba rapa ke bo malome, ba rapa ke di neighbor, batho ba nanang hore bona ba safe ha ba ba bona, kante ke sera motho o emetše fela opportunity ya gore ha e ka ba ya fitla ke swantše ke rape ngwanana o. So rena re le batho ba EFF re na le boikarabelo ba gore re tshireletse batho ba bomme, re make sure gore bana le bomme ha ba rapiwe, ebile they are not victims of gender-based violence. Because taba ya abuse a se taba ye le reng ke taba ya family, a se taba ye reng it's a private matter. There is nothing private in gender-based violence. There is nothing private in rape. Ha o le moagisane o tseba hore motho wa rapiwa ka mo next door, or ngwana wa shapiwa, or motho wa mme o ska bua le bona, ema fela o reporta tabeu ko branching ya EFF. EFF e tla tseba hore batla hore e etseng, e police station yo reporta. we must expose all the abusers, because mo matatiele mo dinto a di sebetse. Ha o re o kena police station o rwakana ke leponisa la monna o re o reporta o re wa abusiwa, maponesa mo ba o rwakana o re khutlela ko hae ntho ke taba ya ko hae tsamang lo e bua ko lapeng a re batle mona police station mona. Re kopa hore o ska lwana le lepodisa o iketse o ka re wa utlwa o re ne ke kopa fela leina la re ntate ke mang, o mongwe le tlase o mo tsebe ka motlhong o ye o mo reporte ko EFF o re ke rekile police station ko reporta abuse motho a ba re ko nna ke taba ya private ke khutlele lapeng. EFF will know what to do with that type of a police officer. Mo matatiele mo basadi aba batliwi ha o tliwa tabeng ya politiki, basadi aba batliwi ha o tliwa tabeng ya economy, ha o ntshiwa ditender mesebetsi fuwa banna ba etse ditender, ha o le motho wa mme ba re na what do you know about tenders, ha o itse next o ka se etse next ke mosebetsi wa bontate. Ha o re o ya home affairs o batlela ngwana certificate or o batla ID, home affairs ya mo matatiele e shwile ha iteng, ha ona home affairs mo matatiele mo. Ha o ka ba wa kra plan ya ru thusiwe ko home affairs o ka re badimo ba ba buile le wena ka re o tswa o seng o ye o eme line ko wa mafese ba be ba kwale. Ha o fitla fela ko countereng ya home affairs o thola mme a swantse a thuse mme a le busy ka manala or a bua ka cell phone or a khotla di computer. Taba eo ya home affairs ke utlwile hore le ema from 5 a.m. le line ya hore ba le thuse ko home affairs. Taba e ke a inka ko e fa minister Motswaledi hore tloela ntho ya hao ya o tloa hore o lwa le maforena o ka ba re home affairs ya sebetsa, tloela maforena o ye ko matatiele re batla o fihle ka 5 o'clock o seng o bo ska reporta hore wa tla o fele o fole line fela nje o le minister o apere mask le katiba ba ska o tseba. Re ko wena o ema mo lining from 5 a.m. until ba kwala di office ka 4 o'clock, you will never get assistance, because ha batho ba bua fela banana ra batho ba rena ba rata tshele. Re batla yena a tle mo matatiele mo a tla iponela yena self or batho ba rona a ba thole di services mo home affairs. Re batla hore re tsebise the whole country a re tle mona today is because re batla hore the whole South Africa ba itse hore una le nae bitswang matatiele, and ba itse hore ko matatiele ha ona ntho e sebetsang. La o tsena fela o tsena ka tropo o re wa theoa o tla mona ha ona tsela ba jile tšhelete ya skontiri ba re ba kenya skontiri ba iya mashodu ha o sepelei rembalula mabane o na re o batla o phetha di pothole ke batla mmotsa le sa di pothole ko matatiele ha ona di pothole ha ona tsela o tla phetha pothole efe ka re pothole o iphetha ko na le tsela. So ko matatiele a re phethe di pothole re kopa tsela ha re ka no ba tsela ye right o tloa toropong e re kene ka mo every village, every township ha le paletšwa ha o no ba le access road gore batho ba rena ba kgone ho kena, gore ambulance e kgone ho kena, gore heshe e kgone ho kena ka hore mona Eastern Cape mo I know hore ho na le batho ba leng hore ba rwala lepokoso la mofu ba lenke ka maoto ba tlowe mo villageng ba ya ko Tharotong ka hore ambulance or heshe e re nka scan ha ke batlo go khutla mo be ke palla ko tswa ke tlo lata ke dikoloi tse pushang dikoloi tse ding. So Eastern Cape is one of the most rotten places. Dintlo tsa di RDP a ke sa batla ho bua ka tsona ka hore tseo di tswa ka sefane ha ba sa o itse hore moketekete ha ba o ne ntlo ko RDP bana ba banyane ba thotse matlo a di RDP lona batho ba baholo ba ba ngwadisitseng from 1997 o fitla today a Lesotho le matlo ho na le mme ko o na le 57 years ho na le ngwana ko o na le 30 years ngwana o thotse ntlo before mme wa 57 years ngwana ba santse ba botse simple question ngwana o ngwadisitse neng mme wo a ngwadisa neng then you will know that there is corruption. And ke mosebetsi wa makhanselara a EFF ba tloela ho robala kwa ba ijale ma ANC le di municipal managers ke bona ba ba swantse ba re kopa list ya RDP e cleaniwe re tsebe mang o applyile nako mang apply nako mang and is ka etswa sephiri no secret list e ngwalwe straight public e bewe into public notices ha o fitla wena o ke shebe lina la ho ke number 89 ha ba ka re batho ba thotse di RDP wa khutlela ko listing wa wo ne le number 100 nna ne ke le 89 we thola byang a le 100 ke le 89 re matla ho be le transparency mo tabeng ya matlo a di RDP ha re ka khona ntwe ya re lwele hore mo matatiele mo list ya di RDP I bewe everywhere mo di public notice batho ba e ba ke check hore ke number mang ha o ka ithola o ka se thole ka spiri will be knowing your number. It means you got it through corruption. Re khutle hape ntwe engwarishang haholo batho beso ba baholo ke one ya hore how kena everywhere for shalona mo holong mo how ka kena ka di toilet o ithola di condom ba di beile mola tabeng ya di condom ke taba ya choice. To have sex is a choice. It's not something that is forced naturally. Babuwe ba no bia di pads ka mo di toilet mara re tseba hore bana ba rena ha ba ya di periodsing as a choice. It's a natural cause. So we na lo re bia di condom pele a re bieng di sanitary pads ko pele bana ba rena ba kire di sanitary pads re di bie hore every public space bana ba ha ba thola banke why re bia in the public space ha una motho a batlang o tsebea ka o sokola. You can't be proud of being poor. I've never heard in any speech a person say I'm poor and I'm proud. No. How toilets are malefaba to the sanitary pads ka matso ba dinka le ba etsa hore ba be ashamed bia mo bona ba tla ring on their own nicely privately a pick up a kenye go baking a tsebe hore no we are safe. So ha president ya student commander na bua mo ka bomme ba eteletseng pele di university ke batho ba bomme Ke bona ba mathomo ba ne ba swantse ba beile di sanitary towels ko di university in each and every room. Ha bomme ba le ba yo cleanela bana ba tsamaye ba tshwere plastic ya di sanitary pads ha ba fetsa o cleaner ba ishia ona mola e ba fetsa o cleaner ba ishia ona mo. It's a struggle that is led by women. When they got appointed as VCs of those universities, we thought now our children's dignity is going to be restored. Ho buima ha bana ba rena ba le diphirotsing ba sena diphetse ba nka dipampiri ba folder do ba khwesotsa bolwetsi tsona dipampiri tseo ba nka dikhipa ba re jwalo le jwalo ba thiba o ena le puso ye ka ba fang ntho a seriti hore bona ba ke thuse ka seriti. Bana ba rena ba ska sokola beyond 25 years. O sana le bana ba reng ba le diphirotsing ba sie sekolong because ba tseba hore ha nka ya sekolong ho ra re ko ba se tsheisi tsa pleke la ka moka e re ke nne hae ha di monka 7 days. It means this child is going to miss school for 7 days. Puso e ka ye ratang batho because puso e ka se rate ba e khonang o bontsha hore o rata batho o thoma ka ba ba sa e khoning then ba e khonang ba tseba hore this is a caring government. Re a kopa le today as we celebrate the Women's Day or khutlisang seriti sa bana ba banana ba ileng hore ba tlhopheya ba kopa dilo tse tsa di sanitary towels. Fighters no sicelo ba mmolaya ba mo ripa di piece ke ra hore ha o ntse mola o ntse o mo remella o mo khatha di piece kwenu a ona motho wa mmena ha wa belea ke mmena. Don't you have a sisters na? Don't you have cousins na? Why would our men make us so ashamed? Why would they do that? Batsamae umwemeletse le pudi ya pudi ke ra le gusha ha o le iwane o ntse hey o batla thuso motho ka o mona ka mo shebile ka mahlo o mo khatha di piece motswadi wa ngwano a re a ke na taba ba mmolaile mara o na ba entseng ba mo khatha di piece o entseng se ska etsang hore o mo khatha di piece o bo wa shothile motšhini o ba nya ka mo granda mo re gerra a ya mo latlhele kwa re ska tseba ngwana rena o ko kae mara ba phile ba ska shwa ka re ba sa tlo di bona motho wa sephofolo o ka se mmolae wa mo khatha di piece wa nana hore in your life you'll get peace. They will never get peace in their lives wherever they are. Arisa inyaka ntweu ya hore banna emang ka maoto. Everywhere we are being asked ha re ula ba re banna ba ka mo ba kae ha ne ke na le mesebetsi ko ae kwa ka na re before re thomare emang re emetse banna ba ka mo ba fitle re khone re thoma mosebetsi. So today banna ba Afrika borwa ba kae when the whole family of Afrika borwa is being attacked? Where are the men of South Africa to defend their own? Ditsotsi di nkile strata mo matatiele mo a re sa khona loya malapeng a bana le mashu dithapelong ro ba dudusa re ba support ka ra re 4 o'clock re a chaba hore yo le tla subela ke sa lona bana ba faila because o ba batla ho etsa di study group ba le bosiu from there ba boele ko ae ba tlatsa ma strateng se fee because the criminals have taken over the streets. And what is worse, ko rena re le batswadi re ntse mo rena re le bana re le malapa. All of these criminals are known to us. Laba ba tlo senya ko ba tswang teng a tla tshwere tšhelete o tseba ngwana wa sebetse a o mmotse potso ya hore o tlo inka kae tšheleteo ha palla go explain or ka mo e ka skene a ikhutlele morago. I will rather die suffering than to eat money with blood. Or nanga siye chelete ya upupuma madi. Apupuma madi. Babola ile ngwana wa our Secretary General Godrich Gadiga Mpumalanga. Ba molaya ba munka ba molatlhela go skhwe. Ha re mo krea ba mo tlhabile mmelo kaofela ba mo rapile ba fetša ba mo tlhaba ka thipa o re o entseng a re tsebe ke re ko bona ditsotsi tše ha e le ora le tšhabe papae ka gore ke tšhomi ya Julius Malema nna le ntšhabe na. When you step this child, don't you have me in your mind? Don't you have the EFF in your mind? That we might undermine the father, but what about the people that live with the father? Ba mo tlhaba ka thipa ba mo thunya ka mo morago ka mo shoot they shot from behind. Cowards. Ba bolaya and o ba bona banna ba dinatla ba kopane ba bolaya such a tiny body, such a beautiful soul by destroyer by latlhela ko skhwe with a hope ya gore ka gore Mpumalanga ho na le ditau le ding o tla ja ke ditau, then they won't be able to find her. So re a kopa as parents, as communities, let us not harbor criminals. Ha ngwana a ka tla ka ntho ka re a o utlwisise hantle o ska mo rasetsa ema fela o no re o tsenye kobo mo lethekeng o re ke a khutla o ye police station o re ke bona dintho ka ko nna ka kwa di tlompalla di batla lona maponesa a fitla check gore ngwana o kotsi ya hae keng, because ha rena re embrace taba ye ya o bolaiwa ha batho lo rapiwa le ietla ko rena is coming to you. How Shebantwe, look at your mother, look at your wife, us with wives, Floyd. Yeah, when I say look at wives, I refer to us with wives. Look at your wife, look at your daughters, look at your neighbors' children, or kana ngwano can be next. Hanga say stop and none twe ki bonanga mo lapeng laka. Next ke ngwana ko KwaZulu Natal nkgono wa nkgono a ke tsebe o mmona eng nkgono a le so frail ba be ba mo kenela ba mo rape ba mo shia ona mo a shele nkgono. All of us, very few Africans can argue gore bona ba godisha ke nkgono. When you see an old person, you must immediately think of your grandmother. How do you touch your grandmother like that? How do you think of your grandmother like that? What is going through you when you attack the defenseless woman? She won't do anything. Yet you still find it in you to molest and rape and kill a defenseless old woman. What type of a sick society have we become that we have no souls for old and young? These people of South Africa must rise, because in the absence of government, the people themselves must defend themselves. There's no one who's going to defend us. They don't want to defend us. We now have to take it upon ourselves to defend ourselves, like you did in 1956, like you did in 1976. You stood up carrying nothing but your hopes that this country will be liberated from apartheid. Today, we are being called upon to defend our country, this time not against apartheid, but against criminals who have declared war against the women of South Africa. We have to fight and make sure that we defend these women. There is no culture called ukutwala. Ukutwala is rape. There's no culture called ukutwala, where you take a young kid and give that child to a toothless person. Hana le meno. Future ki mo, future ya ngwana. Future ya ngwana ke skolo. Ngwana ankiwa isiwe skolo. Ngwana ska nkiwa afiwa ukutwala. You know, I come from a grandmother who couldn't read and write, and her friends could read. She got very angry because society, eba mofa chelet or ayo deposit a chelet. Oswanja emele someone who's going to fill in those forms. Are what's on to him boragam, what's up papa bam borili? Care what happened? And my father said a girl who goes to school will never get married. That's how we didn't go to school. We can't allow that. Bana abaye skulu. If Lena, you are a product of ukutwala, let it end with you. Let the children go to school. Let the children be educated and come and take you out of your poverty. Because this ukutwala, you are giving this child to a poor person who has nothing, who's not going to help you with anything. But if this child goes to school, Mandisa Maya will come from your family. Imagine if Mandisa Maya was taken to Ukutwala. She wouldn't be a deputy chief justice today. Hey, what? You must not allow that. Anyone who has sex with anyone without a permission of that person is rape. And when it is children, it's even worse. It's a statutory rape. So please, let us not promote the rape culture in the name of culture, which is non-existent. Banabarena, we live in a new world order now that requires people to be educated. Rena re busy, re alwana ko parlamenteng, re lwanela bana ba, re a shapiwa ko parlamenteng. Honorable Malema, order, sit down. Hey, wait. Hey. Ha re lwana mo re shapiwa, ba re latlhela ko ntle ba re go. Re a khutla ka hosane. Re qala from the beginning. Order. Hey, okay, Malema, le lwanela. Re lwanela bana ba kene sekolo mahala. Or ba rute ba yo thusa malapa bona ko morao ko ba tlhanteng. Ex no lwana rama mati ba re okay ya ba kene bana ba teng ba ile go thwala. Tla ba thola ka re ba ishitse go thwala instead of taking them to school. Let the children go to school. Let the children make a decision about their future. Let the children decide who they want to marry. The only thing as parents is to nurture them. Reba fe tsela, reba fe direction until they are old enough to make their own decision. We must never make a decision on behalf of our children. Fellow fighters, we need clinics in each and every ward. Ebele ambulance, ebele manese, in each and every ward. Why? White people have got exactly that. They've got clinic next to them. Bongata ba batho ba shwa ba bola ke malwetse a eleng gore if you go to clinic, they can detect it early by solver. Mara, because arna the clinic, the whole matatiel goes and queue in one clinic. Hana go au ifitla bar no reakwetsi. O tlile clinicing ka tšhelete ka dimisitsweng next door. O tla patela kang. Re a lwana re batla every ward in Matatiele, in the whole of Eastern Cape, ebele clinic, ebele ambulance, ebele nurse, ebele sophisticated equipment. You know, this thing is possible. You just need a caring government. There's too much money. That money is even stored under mattress. Boramaphosa ka mokgo e beng e ntši ka ona e tletse ka parlamenteng ebile ba e beya ka tlasa matrase ba ia gore ba beele ka fasa matrase ya di dollar a ja di dollar mara rena clinic mara Ramaphosa o ja di dollar ANC wo ba re ke maboyane ena o he le go dula mathomo le la mafelelo la mo Eastern Cape maboyane. So Rinyaka ori, everybody a kgone ba le primary health care, especially lena batho ba bomme le needa o feta rona o na le ntho engwe ba re ke breast cancer e tlhaela mo letsweleng mo ha e qala ke sešonyana mana a gore ke a toucha utlwanyana some irritation or hi let me go to the clinic ma check ha o fitla clinicing Mutaladi go mukana to that side. Oema halfway bar request. Alright, this is not serious. Let me leave it. Outside doctor. Osasa, boom, up a full-blown breast cancer, stage 4. What happened now? Why was I clinicing early? I kile kazama ya clinicing mara. Asanga kakena line ketelle. So have I taught in a clinic au fitla o kra batho ba 2-3 before you one again by tola sale nyanyana they can remove it and then you live forever. Mara how e ka ba palla once it is stage 4 then ausana ntwerga yitsa. So please go batho ba ANC re batla di clinic is not about luxury, it's about long life for our people because we love them and we don't want them to die from senseless illnesses that can be cured. So we will fight for this until we restore the dignity of our people. Babuile mo ba di khomo dia utsiwa leading kuli dipudi di shwaka mo Lesotho ka mo. That's why we want a borderless Africa. Ora khomo ile ka mo le re no ema o seng ra elata. A ona border this border that. Leshodu le ka mo re le batla le ka mo. A re batle Mosotho re batla Leshodu. Because ha ba batla re tsabanyisa ba re a ro batla Basotho ba utsitse di khomo a se Basotho ke Leshodu ha le bitswe ka leina le le rege o re batlana le Leshodu. So le bona ba le bakatile mana ba bo rena ba 80 ko Krugersdorp that they are Basotho or South Africans we don't care. They are criminals and they must be punished as such. Their nationality matters not because we want to deal with crime. Harika Toman Teaure, woke Mosotho, woke Mkos, woke Mzulu, woke Mpedi. Oh, we are going to fight amongst ourselves. Arsker I promote and to Emunati out to it or hey, Rabataba Sutubatama, hey, Habas no Tama Basut, re boreile re thoma o sheba gore re ka shapa ba bafe kana ela lena mashale ba re keng amongst Xhosa sa re o na le mabaka. Let's go for mabaka. What? No, mabaka is our people. Mabaka, their history will explain it. But let them go first. Out. And then that time Mabaka was leading the fight against Basotho. When it finishes, but let's look around. Bakas, come here. Be careful what you are inviting. The unity of a black person is paramount. Let's not allow them to divide us. Let's have disagreement and differences amongst ourselves and solve them peacefully, but not on the basis of border. Let's go and close borders and put a wall and everything. Stock theft will still be here. Because why? Ba utswa le maphodisa dikgomo tse le dinku tse ba sebetsa le maphodisa. Ba sebetsa le maphodisa. So, tshwanetse re lokise maphodisa first. Ha re ka kreya maphodisa first, I can tell you, hauna stock theft re ka complainang. Hauna motho wa committing crime mo South Africa as a sebetsing le maphodisa. Kaofela bona ba sebetsa le maponesa. Na le ponesa mo ba re ke Sisilana, Warren Sisilana. Hey, white taola. So we want the police to be responsible citizens and live according to their oath. Their oath is to serve and protect. Not Sisilana assaulter, a woman who's coming to open a case in a police station. Amo sharpe little today. So who's going to open a case? Hama ponisa shapabatu. Haba yo bula case. Rather ushweli onata you because what you are going to be abused worse when you come to that area. So now we must make sure that this place becomes a safer place for everyone. All of you, I'm happy here in Matatiel. You are teaching everyone what is Pan-Africanism practically by how you relate with your neighbors in Lesotho and live together, speak Sotho, speak Xhosa, call each other by clan names. That's how much you show that you embrace and coexist as African people. Fighters, the last point I want to raise, second last, is the issue of domestic workers. These domestic workers are being exploited. They are not paid anything. And they are being raped, and they can't report the rape. But rape ke makgowa a bona, the domestic worker, a ka se bue ka gore ha ka bua fela. Mosebetsi wo wa bo domestic worker bo ntse between poverty le success nyana ya nang le yona. Ha reporta le khoala ka le rape ba motebela mosebetsing. Then from there poverty starts. Also qualify pension ya mmuso. We must find a way to protect our domestic workers. As we speak now, 100,000 of domestic workers have lost jobs in South Africa. So, it means 400 to 500,000 people are directly affected by the losing of a job by these 100,000 domestic workers. Because one domestic worker looks up to 5 people. We need to find a way to protect domestic work. Otherwise, now literally, poverty is visiting us. It is all of us who were brought up by domestic workers. They cared about us. And many of these domestic workers are mothers. So if you do not protect the domestic workers, it means you are not protecting the mothers. We need to protect our mothers. And the EFF must find a way of ensuring that this work called domestic worker is professionalized and a minimum wage is paid and people are not expelled easily as they are now. Comrades, more Eastern Cape, more ANC, ekria 73% ka di election. More Matatiele, more ANC, ekria 65% ka di election. Mara, halena di tsela. 582 schools, math schools, di mo Eastern Cape. Mo batho ba tsenang di toilet tsa mekoti mo Eastern Cape. Mo batho ba senang di tsela tsa o tsamaya pila ke mo Eastern Cape. Mo batho ba tholang mosebetsi ka gore ba robetse le councilor la ANC ke mo Eastern Cape. Bana ba lena a ba bereki. Eastern Cape is the highest unemployed people in the whole of South Africa. 52.6% of the people of Eastern Cape are not working. Yet ANC itola 75%. Le vote la ANC ka botshepehi e le kenya ko di toileteng tsa mekoti, bana ba kena di toilet tsa mekoti, ba be ba shwele ka mo di toilet tsa mekoti. Ha le fetsa bana ba shwela ka mo toileteng ya mekoti, la be le re a leboha ANC re bolaetse bana ka di toilet tsa mekoti 75% va. Ya, o sho re le leboha mos. Ha? Di RDP di tswa ka mahlo le difane 75% ANC va. Alena reliable water. And a limit ya tswang a di chila ke a matso le di phofolo di ka se anwe metsi ao. Mara la vote la ANC Eastern Cape ka botshepehi. Alena motlakase bongata ba lona le sa phela ko tlase. Yet la vote la ANC ka botshepehi. Why we voted la ANC u khutla spetlele o no le spetlele ba o isitse ko spetlele ko ambulancing ka wheelbarrow ba o rwele ka wheelbarrow ka re ambulance ha ikene ba fihle ba o bie o kene ka ra ambulance o tsamaye o ye spetlele ba fihle ba o ill treat maness ba be ba re ko wena ha ona ditlhare house no ka ona fala o khutla fela o kenya kobo ko thekeng o votela ANC yene o kentse ko wheelbarrow o ya ko spetlele le tloele Mandela le sa Mandela o robetse peacefully ye a se ANC ya Mandela ya mashodu ye ha o sana ANC ya Mandela ANC e shwele le Mandela ha robala. So you can't say to Mandela, sleep in peace. Wabota matamara, nyaka si yaki ANC. Spuma kute na ANC Congolos. Spuma kute ne Congolo. Oda puma kute le toilet yam kute. Spuma kute. Arisa nyaka ntweo. We must say enough is enough. Arisa batla puso ye sa tlhokomeleng batho ba batsho. We want a government that will look after black people, especially black women, and that government is the EFF. There is no any other government that can take care of black people except the EFF. Hey, Aper Shebile TV, Banaba Tselang Dinuka, crossing rivers, Kiba mo Eastern Cape. Or is this real? Obo phone. What is this? What's happening? I repelaso. ba banke ba ba kentse ka hara bucket ba e kima ba kenya ba kwale ba o hoe hore o kgone ho crosser the river. When you finish matatiele 65%, le khutle le Eastern Cape le 75%. Sometimes if we're to sit down and think properly, we are our own problem. It is us who are a problem because we've got a solution. I say it, like vote like time and time again. Results are the same. I try something else, man. Try something else. So please, no moto utweri barli shodu li tshwarwa ka morwalo. Ra thola Ramaphosa ka morwalo $4 million. Calculator mo re ka diranta ka bokae? $4 million. I kentse ka mo ara matrasi. I kentse ka ara di sofa, o bula sofa. O gotile carpentry mo we, upholstery wa bula, o kenya tšhelete. Ka mo. So by utswa agero le shodu la o ka I buela le fifing ba o shebing. A kenya mo la kenya aka se kenya liwa no kenya lo mo. O la o botsa mo ngore ape hey. O ntse o di mama tsebitsebi mo. Ba ilata bashimane busiku ba ilata. Ba ebetha kwaba. Aba iutswa instead or ayobula case. O bitsa gangster ya. Ba matisana le bashimane ba le ba etsa bo gangster. A ke re gangster ka hore ina le tšhelete o utsiwa. How ka iutswetse? E ka se report because go police station bore where did the money come from? Are hey ye yo pal bafana go after them. Ba tšea le flamachine ya South African police without case number. Ba ya ka mola ntle ka kwa Namibia ba nyakana le bashimane ba uba ba ba kry ba ba tshwara ba ba betha ba ba torture ba ba kenya mo ntlo ya Ramaphosa ba nka mmeo wa domestic worker ba mo torture le na bethwa. That's why hey a re nyake ntwa kgatlhanong le basadi mara president she shapa domestic worker. I fetsa tlo ema mo platformong e re stop abusing women. But that stop a yanga or babo naena. So money laundering, racketeering, fraud, torture, all manner of cases against your president. Why would people stop crime when a president is committing crime in the highest office? So, South Africa, you get the government you deserve. If you want a president of a gangster, you've got one. But if you want a president that wants to save you and liberate you from the chains of poverty, you have to change your vote. So, the president in parliament now, we are going to start a process of impeachment. So impeachment means, ge o le president o tsamaya, o gola tšhelete bophelo ba gago ka moka. We pay you for the rest of your life. Ro fa security, ra ba ra o fa le office that is paid for, ya ba ya patela le ke ra patela le staff sa office ya gago. It's called the office of the former president. Ke a o tswile, Thabo Mbeki o na le yona, Zuma le yona o na le yona, Nkandlas re ba file everything. So our president ya impeachwa. Hira or inchiwa e tsamaya fela ha e thole next. Ha thole salary, ha thole pension, ha thole anything. So kinto e re thomile no ko parlamenteng hore re batla impeachment process. La o ka morata Ramaphosa, lo ka nrata mo rata Malema. Mara wa kry-a motho a beile tšhelete ka ra matrase, a sa declare SARS, a sa declare Reserve Bank. Rena re phela re declare re hiwa ke SARS, yena ha o ya le nosi, ha e patele tax. And then all of us, we are all equal before the law. a re tlo e dumela ntho eo. Let him be equal before the law. Le yena a appear before the law. Case is opened. Nothing has happened because he is above the law. So, comrades, we've started that process, and once that process has started, you can be guaranteed the only way for him to survive perhaps will be to resign. Because even when you have resigned, we can still impeach you when you're not when you're no longer a president. So we really want to take this opportunity to thank our gender-based violence desk, because re berekana le mathata a mangata a bomme ba ba tlhophehang ko EFF, ko Winnie Mandela House. So we help a lot, and the people who do this work, they do it voluntarily without getting paid. And the 1 million membership DP, if it was to survive, it must target women. If you recruit and not target women, it means you are forming emzinesi insizwa. We don't want emzinesi insizwa here. We want women, because women, once they've catched the fire, you can't stop them. They will speak about this gospel everywhere they go. So let's target women. Let's make sure that in the 1 million members that we are recruiting, majority of them must be women. If women are on your side, nothing will happen. Remember, women are the most fearless people. They are not scared of anything. So if you have this woman on your side, I can guarantee you the EFF will become government in 2024 here in the Eastern Cape. We want 1 million members all over South Africa, but we want more members in the Eastern Cape, because the rot is here. But bamo Eastern Cape ba utswa abatshwariwa. They never get arrested. Boshodi bo tletseng mo la o ka cheka with all amount of evidence produced, they never get arrested. But this province of Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Gavin Mbeki, Thabo Mbeki, a province of legends and leaders. Look at how it looks like. This was supposed to be one of the most beautiful, successful provinces, because our leaders come from here. Uraba to America, but we want to see Mbizana, where Winnie Mandela comes from. There must be an airport. Yalo motor walenda uduma pudim. So, this province of O.R. Tambo, yeah, where O.R. Tambo was born, Mbizana. The house when I went, it was no longer there. The house where O.R. Tambo was born. In white people's culture, that would have been a museum that attracts visitors. And as they visit, they buy cold drink next door. They buy food next door. Then the economy of Mbizana booms. Everybody in Mbizana is working. Like Soweto, Vilakazi Street, where Nelson Mandela stayed, is during the week today. If you go there now, it's buzzing. There's no music, no nothing. People are just going up and down. And 90% of them are not from there. They are visitors. As a result, every house there in Soweto Vilakazi Street has been turned into something, either a restaurant, either a beauty salon. They are milking dollars. Mbizana should be having the same. Kunu should be having the same. But because they've abandoned the Eastern Cape, people want to see where Nelson Mandela is resting. When we go to London, we visit the grave of Karl Marx. It's in London. It's no longer a grave. It's a tourist attraction. And you pay. A lot of such things can be done here. Winnie Mandela was the most brutalized woman. Her story, if properly told, it will attract a lot of people to want to see where was this type of a fearless person born. Everything, after explaining to them, $100. They are polite like that. This should be buzzing, but it's not. Why? We've allowed corruption to collapse this province of Eastern Cape. And that rot and that corruption is going to end here in Matatiele. I didn't come here only to celebrate the Women's Day. I came here to start a journey to stop corruption in Matatiele and in the whole of Eastern Cape. Because corruption can be stopped. Let them be punished in 2024 so that they become ordinary people and they know a pain of suffering because we are going through the same under them. These roads that you see that are not finished, whoever got the tender must be arrested. And then whoever gave the tender and did not follow the procedure must be arrested too, because they are both corrupt. Oscar Mabuyane must be rotting in jail as we speak now because of the corruption that is happening in this province. But because they are untouchable, nothing will happen to them. But they must know nothing is forever. Their day will come. And that day, when that day comes, they will regret for the rest of their lives. Your tears will never fall down. The EFF is there to catch your tears. Amandla! Amandla! Viva EFF! Viva! I wule EFF! I wule! Tata EFF! Tata! Igama lama kusika sima libongwe